one of the guys who's going to be coming back, maybe the last time this year is Travis Kelce. Plenty of buzz about his possibly being his last season, his swan song. Patrick Mahomes, however, does not see it that way. In fact, he sees Kelce as attacking the offseason like he's still in his prime, full of energy, focus, and fire. Here's what Patrick Mahomes had to say about Travis Kelce in this offseason.
Travis and him being here, I guess, what's your sense of the shape he's in and the motivation to, like, if this is the last ride, to sort of make it count?
I mean, if it's the last ride, you would never know. I mean, the way he's talking about football, the way he's talking about working and trying to be even better this year than he was last year. I mean, he's not. It doesn't seem like a guy that it's his last ride. Like he's tired of the job. I mean, he's in here, he's working, and I know his body feels good. I think it feels better than even last year before going into last season. Just because I think he's motivated to go out there and have an even better year than he had this last.
So JD, obviously, we think it's Patrick. We think it's Kelce's last year. We're all assuming it is because he's kind of hinted at it being it. But Patrick Mahomes says he's still attacking like he's in his prime. A few questions on this. When you see that he is kind of attacking like he's still in his prime, trying to make up for that Super Bowl performance that he had, because he's one of the guys we talk about who had a poor performance and wants to come back and can't go out like that. That's what he said to Pat McAfee, at least. What does it tell you about the kind of season to kind of expect from him, and he's attacking the season like he's in his prime? We talked about him losing 25 pounds a couple weeks ago. And beyond, too, we talk about the young guys we like in the room. Brinstool, who's making noise at OTAs right now, and the Trey Watsons of the world. What does it tell you, and how important is that for the younger tight ends to kind of see a future Hall of Famer grinding at the level that he is this late into his career?
Oh, it's vital. It's vital to what his legacy is. He's coming in with a renewed sense, rejuvenated, energetic. Like you said, he's lost some pounds, lost some weight. He's in the best shape ever. Speaking positively about the things he wants to be able to do. He wants to achieve this year. Like Pat said, the way he's speaking, the way he's moving around, you will never know this was his last year if it was. But I don't expect him to come in being somber, like, hey, guys, this is my last year. I don't expect him to be like that at all, right? And I think what Pat is focused upon is what he's doing out there on the field. He don't necessarily have to be at some of these mini camps. He don't have to be at some of these things. He chooses to be. Why? Because he still has a passion to play ball. He's a competitor. That's who he is. That's in his blood. That's in his DNA. So he's a warrior. He's going to take it with a warrior mentality. And he's going to approach it like this may be his last year, right? And so when you go into it, you got to go in full board. Like I said, if this had to be his last year, he's going out on his shield. That's what it's going to be. And he's going to be swinging his sword on every single joker that's coming in his way. So he wants this to be a great showing, okay, whether it is his last year or not. But if he's telling Pat McAfee, I didn't want to go out like that, well, maybe he meant like he might have went out last year if they wanted. But he wants to go out on a high note. He wants to win another Super Bowl ring, another championship. He feels like he deserves it. And he feels like, whatever I lacked in last year, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm not. And so let me get my mind right. Let me get my body right. Let me get my spirit right. And let me go out here and be an example about what a Kansas City Chief means to me and show that to everybody else who just came in the building. Right? So what everybody heard about Travis Kelce, what everybody heard about Patrick Mahomes, what everybody heard about the Kansas City Chiefs was they were world champs. They were winners. Well, guess what? It's one thing to say it. There's another thing to show it. So I guarantee other teams don't have some of their vets coming back and playing and doing the things they need to do in OTAs and mini camps. Some are making excuses why they're not there. Some are sitting there saying, I had a fashion deal or, having a kid, whatever, right? Whatever the excuse may be. Travis is saying, I'm here and I'm present. And so let's get the boys fired up. Let's get this thing right. Let's right the ship the way it's supposed to be. And let's win this championship. And it starts here. It starts right today. When we in here for OTAs, this is when it begins. And everybody needs to understand that. Because when somebody's sitting over there and they're looking at up in getting all the confetti thrown on them and they're watching the fireworks and whatnot, they're going to know where it began, Marcus. At 8-7 and 15, 95, all those guys are sitting over there saying, yes, we put the time in and this effort and this work. But we had to show everybody else around us that we meant business, that we are invested in this. We are trying to make sure that we come back to win this championship, okay? So those guys, it ain't the farewell tour right now. He's ready. That's all the conversation needs to be. Like I said, you don't need to come and, have a speech before everybody like, hey, it's my last year. You don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that. So I'm looking for my boy right here, man, to go ahead and get down the way he's been doing it, okay? Be the Travis Kelce of old. That's what I'm looking for. So that's it.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we talk about the young guys in that room, and they get to see, look, this is, it takes a lot to be in the NFL for as long as Travis Kelce's been. Especially, it takes a lot to be on the mountaintop as much as he has been with all the rings that we've had and how successful his team has. Mm-hmm. And look, this guy who may be retiring soon, maybe this year soon, he's still working like he is in his prime of his career. And that's something that everyone should kind of aspire to be. And I mean, JD, you were the veteran that you and TG were the veterans that people look to. And to bring that spunk and that kind of enthusiasm, which I know you did, to the room, that's huge for the young guys to say, look, if I want to be playing for as long as these guys have been, I need to be like that. I need to bring my A game all the time, even at 35 or however old Travis is right now.
Yeah, it's like I said, man. It's important. It's important for those young guys to see those things. When you have a mindset, and I love Will saying that. I started talking like JD in a person's life with the same energy. Never accomplished so much in a short amount of time. That's a fact. It's a mindset, baby. Will, it's a mindset. You got to make sure you're going to win, and you got to desire, okay, what it is that you want. You got to make some of those things happen. So positivity, the energy, you come in, you got to make sure everybody understands it's time to get things done. We got to do it right now. There's no tomorrows for this, okay? Our time is short. We only got a certain amount of time that we could do things. Let's take it now. Don't wait. And so for those young guys that he's going to be passing the mantle to, okay? When I hand off the torch to you, what are you going to do with it? You know what came before you. You knew the standard we set in this room. What are you going to do with it? And so for me and TG and stuff, we had a standard. We had a standard. We were going to be the best on the field when it was asked for us to show up. That's what it was going to be. So whatever was TG had to make a valiant play, doing something, crazy, catching the ball, whatever, he was going to do it. If it had to be me blocking my man into the end zone or getting the three, I'm going to do it. That's what's going to be done. Hey, give me an assignment, done. It is finished. It is over. I got it. You can guarantee to take it straight to the bank. Travis and those guys are sitting there telling, bring a stool. Noah, okay? He's letting Wiley, right? We got what's the name? Tanyan up here. Okay, the young dude, what's the name? Thomas. Watson. I don't want to say Thomas. Watson, okay? Texas A&M. We want y'all to see how we do it, okay? And this is the way it needs to be done. So that is absolutely important. Not only just to the tight end room, Marcus, to the entire team. These guys accomplished so much. What does that say to the young guys who's sitting over here talking about, I didn't get enough reps? What? You see this guy that's been here, who's sitting over here 34, 35 years old, they've been in the league for 12, 13, 14 years over here, and he's still giving it all he's got? You have the audacity. You have the nerve to sit there and think you done? You gonna take some time off? Man, tighten yourself up. That's what he's doing. Tighten yourself up. Okay? And that's got to be known. That's got to be known, baby. It's got to be known. And he's shown it. It's the only way it's going to be able to happen, man. You got to lead. The way you lead is by showing and by doing. Okay? So, yeah. See, you give me hype. Dad got
it. Your last season there, JD, 07, who were the the younger tight ends that you and TG were kind of leaving your legacy to?
Oh man,
Was,
we
was
had
Wilson
K-Dub,
already was
Chris
he
Wilson,
was
Chris
he on
Wilson.
that team or
Who? Chris Wilson?
oh, he was still there?
K-Dub? Yeah, K-Dub was with us. We had
Okay.
K-Dub that was with us. Let's see who was there. Galladay was there. I know Babel was there. I'm trying to think of the last year who all we had. Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's kind of escaping me now.
I'm looking at Football Reference here. I don't even know what this only says there's 2 tight ends on that team.
Yeah, we
In 07 it was just you two?
no. So Dub was there. I know K Dub was on the squad with us.
Yeah, Football Reference must have it wrong. Okay, they have Wilson listed as a fullback. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he was kind of halfback type of deal, man. But yeah, man, that was it. That was it. But all the guys that ever came in the room with us, we knew what it was. You said Billy B, Big Micah Allen. Of course, I told you about Big Keith. He was there. Trying to think, man. We had a number of guys that came in the room, man. We knew what it was. We knew what it was. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the cool thing about you and TG, which is so like weird because you don't really see that in the league anymore, is we had 2 tight ends, right? You guys both had your niche, but like you had 2 tight ends who both did it at such a high level for such a long time. Where now it's like you have one guy who's like that veteran, and then you have the young bucks. We had 2 beasts for such a long time doing these things, where it's like most teams have a Kelce type, and then a guy's been in the league for 2 years, and that's it. But you and TG were just doing it at such a high level for so long. When you were in 05, 06, 07, I mean, you guys were already doing it 5, 6, 7 years at that point together, and just that was so special about that teams and that tight end room that you guys have.
Oh yeah, no question about it, man. I mean, we were a tight knit group of guys, and that's what you usually get. You get about 4 or 5 guys in a room at tight end, man, and it's a tight knit group. You know what I'm saying? Take care of each other, man. We go out to dinner together, go hang out, man, with our wives and whatnot. I mean, that's what it is. And as a tight ends, like I said, you in everybody's room. The offensive meetings, but then you might go in there with the offensive line meeting, right? Peek your head in with the running backs and quarterbacks, wide receivers. We kind of float around with everybody. And then, of course, we get everybody on defense. We're going to hit the defensive ends and the linebackers, safeties. I said, the only ones we didn't really get to see, and everyone's probably, a couple guys, obviously, corners going against them. But, jack of all trades, man. You got to be a master of many things. We do. Tight end, man, that's a great spot to be. Great spot.
Love that group. And today, Jake Brinstool, one of the dominating OTAs today, making big grabs with Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball too.
Really?
Yeah, he had the highlight catch of the day. Apparently,
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised, man.
I know a guy who called that.
Yeah. Dunstradamus. Yeah.
Hey, that's why we call you Dunstradamus. You know your stuff. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.